Evening, folks. I'm here to discuss something a little bit more personal. I got some shit on my mind that I can't quite get shook off. Can't shake it off. I had a meeting with the new shrink tonight, and he pretty much rocked my entire psychological situation on edge. Made me realize I've been kind of naive and advised that I sue my former psychiatrist. She's not even a fucking psychiatrist, she's an APRN. For those of y'all who don't know what that is, it's a nurse practitioner. And I've been trusting her words since about December of 2006. Come to find out, pretty much everything she told me was bullshit. Put it this way, when I rolled up into this new doctor's office and I showed him the medications that I'm on, all 7 of them, how many is that? Oh, that's 8. See, I can't even count anymore, this many. He asked me he asked me when I had last been hospitalized. I haven't been hospitalized. He then asked me if I'm feeling alright, when the last time I tried to commit suicide, basically lining up the questions in such a way that indicating I have been grossly misdiagnosed, mistreated, and it would be in my best interest to get the fuck away from Mary Coe, practicing in Danbury, Connecticut. And for all you cats who may still be seeing this woman, I strongly suggest you do the same. I tried to keep the color out of this video because I want to make this as emotionless as possible. I just want to try to get the facts out as best I can. But what he told me is basically what she laid on me was attention deficit, which is what she told me I had, along with bipolar disorder and some other shit. And what I've been living with in my head for the last 4 years, almost 5 years now, has been horseshit. You don't get attention deficit as an adult. It just doesn't happen. You grow up with it. As a child, as a teenager, through college, it's always a disease. It's always in the back of your head, causing shit. It's not something that just creeps up on you. You're always suffering from it. But what this bitch had me thinking is, due to my own problems in my head or whatever, my incompliance, my non-compliance. See what I mean? The residue of these pills that she's got me on, it's got my mind even more twisted. I'm lower now than I ever have been before. He wants me to get some blood checked because he thinks there might be permanent damage to my thyroid. First rule of thumb, the very first thing he wants me to do, stop taking 1, 2, 3 of the pills, cut the 4th one in half, take the 5th one and wean it off over about a week to 2 week period, because that is the most dangerous. She had me on twice the FDA adult limit. Of the first 3 I told you that I was supposed to knock off, the first one I was on the maximum FDA limit for stimulants. On top of that, she prescribed another stimulant. Both of these are dopamine releasers. Dopamine is a very important chemical in your mind. Makes you feel happy, On top of that, she gives me an antidepressant. But what in reality is happening is the antidepressant is merely giving me a little kickback of dopamine, which I'm already ODing on from the fucking stimulants. So one day without these powerful medications, and I'm withdrawn like some fucking drug addict. So I gotta re-up again. So I'm on double the legal dose of that. I'm on the stimulants. I'm on Topamax, which I thought was to help me curb this substance abuse problem I have, which fucking in the first place, smoking chronic was doing everything I needed, but apparently that's not good enough. Coming to find out, the psychiatric community calls it Dopamax with a D, not because it releases dopamine, because it turns patients into dopes. I'm a pretty sharp cat. If y'all have caught my ramen in the past or any of my writings, you know I'm not a stupid motherfucker. I graduated pretty sharply in college. I talk with a quick tongue. I don't need anything keeping me less intelligent. So that's got to go. On top of that, we got to knock down this other medication, which I thought was the savior of all of them. You probably heard of it, Seroquel. Apparently, my form of bipolar disorder, the only one thing that she perhaps got right, and even that she never quite solidified on an agreement. Apparently the form I got isn't even affected by Seroquel, which is a mania calming agent, not a mood stabilizer. Again, misinformed. She told me that was the medication best suited for me because it wouldn't, affect the eating disorder I have fucked up in my head. Me thinking it's going to put weight on me. When in reality, that's a much more weight-gaining medication than lithium, which would have been a much better fucking choice in the first place. But the biggest thing that disappointed me, and which I'm glad that I saw this new doctor tonight, he's a good cat, Dr. Sex in Stanford, if any of y'all consider seeing a new one. This guy told me he's surprised that I'm alive because the mixtures I was on would have killed cats with a weaker willpower a couple times over, and I'm still walking. I lived through 2 or 3, that's a lie, I lived through 5 or 6 straight cold turkey absence of Lexapro, which is the medication he wants me to taper off because people seriously go through some shit withdrawals when they come off that, like alcoholics, DTs, benzos, that kind of withdrawals, man, where you feel even worse than the first place. My situation is I got bipolar disorder 2, which means I don't go crazy and go to the mall and fucking like some of these dumb bitches you see online. My lows are lower than most folks. I'm kind of introverted. I keep to myself. But that's when the true art comes out. And I don't want to be stuck in this rut anymore. Fucking 5 years of treatment, medications, money, wasted trips to Danbury, fucking adventures that I could have avoided, stresses, nights that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemies. Times that I've missed with my family. My folks think I fucking hate them for no reason at all because this fucking bitch. You know what his advice was? Sue this woman. Sue her. She should not be practicing. And the worst part about it is I blame myself because I call myself a scientist. I call myself skeptical and self-educated, sharp, whatever. But I still believed her as an authority figure. That's rule number 1, hombre. You don't believe the word I say. You know what I'm saying? So for now, I'm gonna keep hip-hop alive, and I'm gonna hopefully live through this week. He wanted me to, this month, he wanted me to sit a week in some inpatient treatment and get some chemical detox, but I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna stick it out just like I do every other day, survive. So, Casper Carr, the infamous, I'm gonna stay solid. All you cats wondering about me, you ain't gotta worry about me, man. I'm gonna be alright. It's gonna be a tough month, but the old me's coming back. No more nonsense, no more 7 fucking scripts. Being broke is a joke with no cash, because I'm stuck on some stupid bitch's diagnosis, which is so far off. I'm not blaming myself anymore. So stay tuned for a brand new chapter in my life. Thanks, John. All those other cats have been there for me. Peace.